Howdy, Dana. We're going to give you a quick snapshot of Pappy's museum we have. I thought of you when I found these, so you get one. These things are, when I was in Korea, Japan, 60 years ago, I think we call them smoking jackets or kimonos or something. Silky, really comfortable around the house, almost a bathrobe. This is the entrance to Pappy's place. We'll stop off here real quick. I'll show you. I'm sending you some stuff. It'll be in the mail today or tomorrow, so it'll get there in a couple of days. It's just some of the stuff of Pappy's we got. Some pictures I don't think that you have, and such as that. And of course one of these little jackets. I think they're so cool. And here's our museum. Okay, this is the inside of the little dining room. My sister finds all these old antique signs somebody makes, and it's pretty cool, so we just keep gathering them. Betty's going to give you a couple of shots of the museum here. This is a little collection of Pappy's from everywhere. You'll see all the pins and stuff. Those are Pappy's from all the drag strips he went to through all those years. And those are models and stuff that we got that just goes in this room. A lot of my old helmets, little knickknacks, but then we get to all the Pappy stuff. Okay, and you can skip those and get to Pappy's portraits. That little 32 coupe is Wally Park's 90th birthday party. Pappy was invited at the special table. About 20 people got these at that birthday party. When Pappy left, one of the guys says, "Pappy, I'll give you $200 for that thing." And Pappy said no, so we got it. That's where that little 32 came from. That was Pappy's first car. First race car was the 32 5-window. Had a flathead alcohol motor in it. 1950. The next is going to be our portraits of Pappy throughout the years of working for National Hot Rod. You're in some of them. Matter of fact, you're right here, where he gives you a shirt that you wanted. That was a long time ago. Pappy's been gone, what, honey, 10, 11 years coming up? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this June, July. Wow, 15 years have gone by. Some of Pappy's trophies. That was his when he retired from the NHRA. And that next helmet, or next trophy, is my mother's, 1953. She went 153 miles per hour at El Mirage. Got the trophy and a little fuel coupe, and a guy loaned her the car. Says, "Peggy, take it for a ride." Okay, there's Pappy's NHRA when he retired. That's what they give him. He was 88 years old when I made him retire. He's having trouble driving across country with that big motorhome towing that jet engine. Finally got him to retire. And that was, I think, 98, thereabouts. He was 88 years old. That's all I remember now. The next trophy is my mother's. Now, at El Mirage, she also drove at Bonneville. And women couldn't drive back there in 53. Hot cars, well, she could because the starter and everybody was racing at Santa Ana. One of the guys who owned that car, I think it was a 34 coupe fuel, said, "Peggy, take it for a ride. You're a shoe." She did. She got the record. Dad, Pappy said 20 years later, the owner of that car was still mad because he never got the record in his name. And that was pretty good riding, I think, 153 back then on the Mickey Mouse tires they had in 1953. Pictures, portraits of Pappy, like we said earlier. I think some of it's on there. Already your calendars are a big hit. I got to give them some to Mousy, but they're a great hit. Let me get out of the way, honey. You can. Okay. These are pictures. Youngblood. Don't know where that one came from, but obviously he painted it and gave it to Pappy. It's got everything, and it's even got my old cars in it. I had a 36 Ford and a 53 Studebaker. Found some of those in there, I think. The old lion sign, and then Youngblood off to the right. He gave him Willie Borsch's Winged Express thing. That's the most famous portrait, I bet, that there probably is. Your stuff is on the wall up there that you give us. Also the Winged Express and Pappy with Mousy with that little dog. That, I guess, was a pretty famous photo. And there's some of the plaques that Pappy has received over the years from all kinds of racing organizations. In the glass case, we got some of his mementos, some trophies, some glasses when he was in all the different Hall of Fames. And my mother was also, you know, in Garlitz's Hall of Fame. Different things, Prudhomme gave him a knife autographed and a red set and just all kinds of little bit of stuff. And of course, the go-kart up there, the golf cart, the employees that he worked with in the Safety Safari bought that for him years back. That was pretty cool. It's sitting up there in the museum now. They show it off every once in a while.
Okay.
Okay, I believe we covered the glass case, so at least verbally you have it. This is all those mementos and cups and stuff from everywhere. Carcraft Junior's Person of the Year back in, I think it was '83 in Las Vegas. And then we get to the big photos. There's mostly a lot of Peggy and Pappy stuff in the early days. You see his 32 coupe is on a different wall, but there's their 36 Willis up there in the left-hand corner. And what I like about that photo, it's supercharged Cadillac. I got to drive it once, one time only. I almost lost it. If you on a close-up, you'll see her helmet. She owned the place. Straw hat was her helmet. Then you'll find her dragster in there. The Mickey Mouse roll bar. See the Roadster down at the bottom on the left? The roll bar is about 6 inches below the top of her head. Safety wasn't too big a requirement back then. And those are pictures with you, Pappy, and giving you that T-shirt. I see that again. And most of those pictures, of course, I think you've taken over the years. And then different stuff, magazine articles. And of course, upstairs we got all those magazines with him in them. Probably 20 or 30 different big articles. You just can't do anything with them. There's just too many of them. Up on the wall, the plaques, of course, from Garlitz Museum, Michigan. I don't know where that one's at. I think that's in the museum in Pomona. They give that to him, I think. But Peggy's also in there with Garlitz's museum, and then of course Pappy with the big one. Are these lights in the way, honey?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a picture of Mousy and me at his birthday party. That was a few years back. I was able to give him a book with his Wedding Express on it. Somebody would give that to Pappy. That's really old, way back. And so he was tickled, and I gave him another copy of Pappy's headstone. He had lost, his had disappeared that I had given him some time back. There's some other party they had at the museum. And then down below, there's another picture of you and me at the cemetery right after. You came and went to the Santa Ana reunion. That was, gosh, 13, 14 years ago. Pretty hard to believe. And then again now, as we go to the right up here, that's a little bright. Okay, and the rest of the wall is all portraits. Cindy, what's her last name?
Arias.
No, well, yeah, but her dad's, Steve Gibbs' daughter did that Pappy thing when he retired. Then Hot Rod Magazine, in the center there, that's about 1951.
Cut. Action.
Okay, here's did we get to Pappy's picture? Did we get that covered?
We do have it now. Go.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cindy did that photo, and the center is the Hot Rod Magazine of 51, I think it says. Yeah, 51, and that's the way it looked in 1951. And of course, the next picture on top is in that era. You can tell by the years of the body, 49 holes and stuff. That was probably pretty old. Then there's just some memento pictures of Pappy with the
Candies and Hughes.
Candies and Hughes with Mark Oswald. Every time Candies and Hughes won one of those events, he had put Pappy in the picture, so that was kind of neat. And down below was Pappy with the Batmobile. That was at Lions, way back. They brought that thing out.
What about Betty and Pappy?
Yeah, Betty. That's my favorite picture there at Bakersfield. Betty and Pappy. Betty's got my hat on. Down below, Shrewsbury, whatever his name was, the wheel stander. He brought that thing out and let Pappy sit in it, fire it up. Then, also years and years ago, that was my first car, not that particular one. Mine was Icebox White and had a Studebaker V in high school. And that was my first real car, and it was a pretty good hot rod back then. Everybody else had flatheads, so it was really a winner at school. Off to the right are more pictures of Pappy at Santa Ana. That's his original 32 5-window coupe, had a flathead on alcohol. That was their first race car, and that's when Peggy started driving. Then the pictures of Pappy, of course, at Santa Ana and different places. This picture was, they come down to Biloxi, Mississippi to visit me. I was in the service in '56, and they came down to Mississippi, and that was a picture when they went out to dinner. That's when they retired. Okay, that picture I think I was discussing, that Biloxi, Mississippi, about '56, I was in the service, and they came down and visited me, and before I went over to Korea, and then a picture at Lions Drag Strip, and then on this wall, she'll have to come over. Your okay, this one, of course, down here we got your calendar, and those are all gone. They were pretty popular. These are just decals and stuff left over from Lions. Have a few of Santa Ana's left over, and then this was '88 Nationals. They named the big one after Pappy. He was the Grand Marshal and the whole bit for the big go. It says 80. Pretty sure it says 88. And yeah, U.S. Nationals. I believe it's '88. Anyway, they named that after him. I got a hat pin with him on it. Just one. I don't know what happened to the rest of mine. I've only ever seen one. And then you might as well show them our.
Here's your helmet display here.
Yeah, this is our helmets and new one. We just bought a dune buggy. We got one of those Razor side by sides. We're too old to fall off the quads and the motorcycles, so we decided to go first class. It's really neat. And then our centerpiece. Okay, can you see this one, baby?
Mm-hmm.
This thing here is a really nice collection. This is when he got the trophy for Peggy in the Hall of Fame for Peggy at the Garlits Museum. This is Pappy's personal cigar box. Somebody had made that for him. We decided to have a centerpiece, and Betty found this globe holder without a globe in a store, and they gave it to us almost for free, so we decided to put something in it, and we took our prettiest helmet of Betty's and made it our centerpiece. And everybody likes it. It was just an accident. I was going to put something in there, and we don't use that helmet. We got brand new ones for the car to match, so that's our centerpiece. So that's pretty much it now. Like this thing here, I'll show you just a couple. I don't know how many booklets like this of photos that we have of Pappy. Betty's got tons of them, and they're all over the place. Of course, you can't show hardly any of them because there's too many, but it's just amazing how many pictures. They're just all over the place. At Pappy's 90th birthday, and of course there's another one of you receiving a shirt from Pappy. You give him that purple. I have that. Sometimes I hang it up in there. I got his yellow Lions drag strip. The only thing there ever was yellow was board members, and it's one of a kind. But we just can only show so much stuff. If people come over to see it, we can drag a few things out, such as that, the old jackets and stuff. Okay, this is Pappy's mementos. I think I might have covered some of his rank. SEMA, 81 or 83, he was Man of the Year and stuff for SEMA at Vegas at their big show. And mementos from Bonneville and El Mirage from 1991. Lindsay gave me a cup and one for Pappy. And all those glass things are Pappy and Peggy's Carcraft magazine and Garlits Museum and the one in Michigan. And these are all our old dash plaques from Bonneville and El Mirage. Peggy's on most of them. She drove a, it was a 56 or 7 Thunderbird, 55 or 6. And Cadillac powered. They drove it to Bonneville, and they lost a cam lobe. And I asked Pappy, I said, what'd you do? He says, we ran the car. It only went 122 miles per hour. And I says, fine. What did you do then? He says, we drove it home. Well, I lost 2 lobes on my Mustang, and it completely wiped that motor. I couldn't have drove it 50 miles. There was more metal. The oil filter was full of metal. And well, I'll tell you, that was courageous. 700 miles from home. The rest of this stuff is mementos from different people. You got things like these, things that Prudhomme sells. Of course, this one's autographed to Pappy. Beautiful souvenir type stuff that they have. And also writes up down there. And he's got his real hat. And of course we have all the T-shirts for Pappy and Peggy for Garlis Museum. And just a lot of little mementos here and there and different little gatherings. You know, there's rings and there's just little mementos and stuff that we've gathered. And that's pretty much. Okay, this is the various T-shirts, the ones we like. Some of them Santa Ana Drags, all different ones from Bonneville and that kind of stuff. In the back here, we got Big Al, the guy with that 30. Oh, you see the bottom, but that thing was so famous. It's in Garlis Museum now. It's just the body, I believe. These are all personal things autographed by him. Jocko, all this stuff here with Jocko was personally signed and sent to Pappy. Same as that one. He was in Hawaii, I think, when he sent that one. Jim Lytle, and then Jocko really was famous with all those streamliners. He loved Pappy, and just different things we got that gathered. And of course, upstairs there's tons of little articles, but you can't do much with them. That's about it. We're going to send you this stuff, and you'll get that in a couple of days, if at all possible. And oh, I'm going to even send you one of these little Mickey Mouse hats. We fell in love with them. They were so cute. Same with these jackets. You're going to love this jacket. And they're huge, so I think it'll fit you, but they're so comfortable around the house. So anyway, that's the neatest we've ever seen. So anyway, we'll be talking to you, and I'll get this mailed in the next couple of days. So see you soon, hope.